bike lane.
I cycle to work most days, and while I enjoy the riding, there's certain safety issues. My abilities, weather, drivers who don't look suicidal pedestrians,
Sorry, mate.
doors, other cyclists, and homicidal maniacs.
What?
Get off the road, mate!
I'm allowed on the road.
You wanna hit my car again, huh? You wanna hit my car?
Some of which have caused close calls, and some even closer calls. But I've noticed a recent trend that's becoming more and more annoying and or dangerous. Motorbikes, get out of the bike lane. A few years ago, my state legalised lane splitting for motorbikes. This means that when traffic is travelling at less than 30 kilometres an hour, motorbikes can travel between cars to get where they need to go faster. The excitingly named Road Safety Road Rules Amendment Lane Filtering Rules 2015 sets out the intricacies of the situation. But for the sake of simplicity, let's look at the Vic Roads website. So, can motorbikes travel in the bike lane? No, they can't. This was never usually a problem, as most people followed the rules, but then one day coming down the bike lane of a very busy road, a motorbike cut into the bike lane and almost collected a cyclist. Then there was another one, a few days later. Then another, who interestingly took the time to argue with me over the law.
Mate,
You're not allowed to go in the bike lane.
you know that when the traffic is moving at below 20 kilometres an hour, that a motorbike can split down the centre or down the bike lane.
Not in the bike lane. Check the rules again. Read it tonight. You can't go in a bike lane.
Alright.
You can go down the centre.
He was wrong. Now, almost every day, I see multiple motorbikes riding where they're not allowed and putting me at risk. And I'm sure that you'll agree that the momentum difference between a 200 kilogram motorbike and a 15 kilogram bicycle doesn't look pretty for the person on the push bike. So sharing a narrow space is dangerous for all involved, but especially dangerous for the person on the bike who shouldn't have to worry about rule breakers encroaching on their space. This was just another pub rant for me, causing my friends to roll their eyes. Until one day, a motorbike cut in front of me, and he got a surprise when I yelled at him, because he hadn't even seen me. He quickly decided the best way to react was by swearing at me. I decided to go and have a chat to the police, who, while admitting that there was a problem, and that this was dangerous, and that it was against the law, told me that there was not a lot they could do in the situation. So I decided to grab my new camera and make this film. I went down to the intersection around 100 metres from my house, the one where the motorbike had almost hit me that night, just to see how many motorbikes were breaking the law. Over the course of half an hour or so, I counted 15 motorbikes ignoring the rules. At each red light, it was more likely than not that a motorbike would shoot down the bike lane. And there isn't an ignorance of the law argument here. One motorbike was coming down the bike lane. He saw a police car in the distance, and so he ducked back into traffic. He knew exactly what he was doing. I've actually stopped collecting clips from my helmet cam because this happens every day, which is precisely the problem. I've had several arguments with motorbike riders on the road, and their reaction is always the same. They looked, they were travelling slowly, they are not being dangerous, so they are not the problem. But it is precisely them who are the problem. By riding in the bike lane, they are normalising this behaviour, and the more normal it is, the more likely other motorbike riders are going to do it. There is no guarantee that all riders will be as safe as they are being. It is a vicious circle that only serves to make the roads more unsafe for cyclists than they already are.
But I ride a bike as well. I stayed a little bit to the right.
It's
I was
dangerous.
going slow. Mate, just chill out.
No. Last week.
You're not going to be like that. You can't be reasonable.
It's...
Well, let me worry about it, and you worry about yourself.
I am, that's why I tell you to get out.
To you, Did I do anything to you?
Yes.
You came flight up. Good for your fitness. That's the good thing out of it. Maybe I made you ride faster. That's a good thing.
You know it's
Just
illegal,
chill
so
out,
don't
buddy.
do it.
I'll do what I want, mate. Nothing to do with you.
Alright, cool.
So what's the solution? I think there's only one. And that's for people to stop being selfish and follow the rules that were put there for a good reason. Motorbikes, get out of the bike lane. And at the risk of being cast as a whinging cyclist, we've already got enough to worry about from cars on the road, and we don't need you making it worse. So please, get out of the bike lane. Get out of the bike lane. Get out of the bike lane.
Get out of the bike lane!